While most of the world is focused on Ukraine war, we must not forget the other conflicts around the world that have created millions of refugees. Hello everyone, my name is Mohammad Iqbal, and I will be discussing the Rohingya refugee crisis, in particular the education crisis that has been brewing within this refugee crisis in Bangladesh. In this presentation, first we will understand why the Rohingya education crisis is a wicked problem, and later on discuss how to solve this problem. Rohingya is a stateless ethnic group in Myanmar. They were subjected to systemic persecution by military governments in Myanmar since the 1970s. Over the past decades, they have been fleeing to neighboring Bangladesh during the repeated wave of violence. There are several refugee camps in Bangladesh to host over 1 million refugees, including the recent wave of over 700,000 in 2017. There are over 400,000 school-age children and more than half are girls. The overwhelming majority of Rohingya are illiterate. The Rohingya refugee crisis will require a political solution that is beyond the scope of this wicked problem. My wicked problem will focus on the education crisis in the Bangladeshi refugee camps. The current education crisis has deep roots in Myanmar as years of apartheid system denied public education to Rohingya community. On the other hand, Rohingya parents always felt insecure sending their girls to private schools outside of their communities due to safety concerns and cultural norms restricting boys and girls in the same classroom. Also, the girls were thought to be better off learning household chores. This has resulted in a disproportionately high number of illiterate girls. If the international community does not act promptly to address this education crisis, we might run the risk of creating a lost generation of Rohingya during our lifetime. Okay, we now know what my wicked problem is, but we must know why we want to solve this problem before we identify how to solve it and what services or products to offer. So we must start with why. I have close ties to this region where Rohingya refugees are now sheltered in various camps. I watched the recent wave of Rohingya crisis unfolding in 2017 with my 7-year-old son. One day, my son asked me whether we could do something for these children instead of just watching the news. That was my turning point. And since then, I have taken several trips to this region, and I participated with various NGOs and Khan Academy to do the volunteer work in various camps. As a result, I can now empathize with the Rohingya and understand their perspective and think about possible solutions. As Simon Sinek puts it in his Golden Circle theory, knowing why is critical in finding the answer for what to create and how to deliver it. Now that we know why we want to solve this wicked problem, let us dive into the detailed plan that we have developed. Our vision is to restore hope and dignity for the Rohingya community, one child at a time. Our mission is to provide sustainable quality education through online platform and in-person vocational training. We have set a strategic goal to reach 10,000 children between the age 5 and 14 by 2024. We will focus on the most vulnerable group, girls without parents or single parents, as they must receive the highest priority. We plan to deliver this online education and training program through a non-profit organization we named We Are Rohingya. As fellow human beings, the least we can do is trying to solve this problem. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, whatever you do will be insignificant, but it is important that you do it. Before we dive into the execution plan, we must evaluate the current situation. We already know that there are over 400,000 school-age children and more than half are girls. UNICEF and other NGOs run various informal literacy programs through 3,000 makeshift learning centers in various camps. Unfortunately, most girls still need to be enrolled in any programs due to safety and cultural concerns. Recently, Bangladesh government has authorized formal education for children up to 14. But the recent coronavirus crisis has delayed the rollout of formal programs as most of these centers remained closed during 2020 and 2021. Therefore, current programs are not having the intended impact in educating the children, especially girls. Let us now discuss our approach to tackling this situation. Let us now discuss our approach to solving this crisis. We have utilized a design thinking approach in formulating a solution plan. Empathy is the key to properly defining the problem. We have started the process by empathizing with the Rohingya community to understand their needs based on cultural and safety concerns. But we didn't simply empathize, we took compassionate action to solve this problem. We have then analyzed the landscape utilizing SWOT and PAST models and identified the opportunities and obstacles. We will tap into the opportunities to provide the value-added services for Rohingya children by using our organization's internal strengths. Our design thinking approach has incorporated the Rohingya viewpoint to formulate the online education platform. This would be the most cost-effective and suitable solution for Rohingya girls, which will also address issues like shortages of educators and physical space. Our value proposition is unique in all aspects to complement our approach to solving this problem. We will focus on each child's individual needs to make them successful. Our program volunteers will work with families to convey the benefits of education and training to make their children self-reliant. They will oversee the success of each child during their enrollment. This program will lead to a dignified and self-reliant future no matter where these children find their future homes. So we will ensure to work with Myanmar and Bangladesh government to obtain all necessary accreditations. Online classroom platforms will provide girls with a safe and secure environment and address the community's cultural and safety concerns. We will also offer customized vocational training for girls over 14. This will provide them a path to pursue jobs in various fields, including retail, hospice care, garment manufacturing, and customer service. Now that we have developed an approach and know what value we'll be proposing to our customers, let us dive into the execution plan. Let us now look into the resources and channels to perform various key activities. We will also discuss funding mechanism for this program. The resources of this program will allow us to create and offer a value proposition by targeting a particular student segment and securing necessary funding. The program requires physical, intellectual, human, and financial resources. Physical. We have formed partnerships with online education providers like Khan Academy to develop the online platform and secure the necessary hardware for students. Intellectual. Our intellectual resources include proprietary knowledge based on extensive research, our forged relationships with strategic partners, and our deep understanding of customers. Human. Our volunteers, educators, key advisors, and entire management team and their networking capabilities will be crucial resources to run this program successfully. Financial. We plan to secure program initiation costs from UNICEF and other NGO organizations while utilizing crowdfunding mechanism for operating costs. Our primary activities will focus on providing agile, efficient, and uninterrupted online education services to students and educators. We will be building IT capabilities to achieve our strategic business goal of reaching 10,000 students through 100 simultaneous classrooms by 2024. Another critical activity will be to provide customized in-person vocational training for girls between 14 and 16. We will also engage in significant lobbying activities to obtain approval from Myanmar and Bangladesh governments. Finally, our marketing activities will be robust through online campaigns for crowdfunding drives. Since marketing strategies will need to incorporate all focus groups, our marketing strategy will focus on customers as well as volunteers and donors, as it is critical for the long-term success of this program. While focusing on our core activities, we will outsource support and non-core activities to run a cost-effective program. Now we will discuss how to reach our customers and build an effective and trusted relationships. Most Rohingyas do not have smartphones, TVs, or other communication devices inside the camps. We will need to reach out to them directly through community events by showing marketing videos. The volunteer customer care team will visit potential families to ensure that the community is made aware of the uniqueness of this education and training program. Family visits will ensure that each family understands how to evaluate the value proposition and enroll their children instantly. Most classes will be virtual and provided through internet-connected tablets. IT infrastructure with communication channels will ensure that students and families have seamless online access to dedicated customer care professionals. Also, dedicated program volunteers will make periodic visits to ensure the success of every children. We know what resources to utilize, what activities to perform, how to provide the service, and what services to offer. Most importantly, we understand why we want to provide this service, but it all comes down to the most crucial part of the puzzle: money. We have formulated a plan and coordinated with UNICEF and other donors to receive funding for all fixed costs like learning platform development, IT infrastructure, and various formation costs. All operating costs will be funded through crowdfunding activities. All operating costs like administration, IT maintenance, and marketing will be divided among enrolled students, and we will calculate each student's tuition and fees by utilizing the activity-based accounting model. This will allow us to build the sponsors through crowdfunding program. Our robust execution plan will bring our vision to fruition to serve the most neglected Rohingya children. The program's overall success will depend on leadership skills, and we intend to assemble a team of qualified management professionals and volunteers to assist in managing and providing leadership for various functions. We will utilize key management team members with greater soft skills in interpersonal relationships to reach out to key government and UNICEF officials to manage these processes. Leadership is all about managing challenges and navigating through uncertain paths. A learning mindset will be helpful for experimenting, making mistakes, getting better, being creative, and finding the appropriate solution. We will provide the leadership with a vision to create a better future for these children, and we must not be afraid to take the necessary but calculated risks, experiment with ideas, and be creative. Nobel Peace Laureate Professor Yunus once said that if we could imagine something, there was a good chance that it could happen, but there was no chance if we could not imagine it. Therefore, we must imagine a wonderful future for these beautiful children, as they deserve every bit of empathy and compassionate action.